Okay, starting from the point where we left the earlier lecture, in now this is the point from where we have to begin. At last, resolving forward, still a fair, till that some end they find, or in or out, that path they take, that beaten seemed most bare, and like to league the labyrinth about. So they were finally resolving forward still to fare. Resolving is they were thinking, they were pondering that which path to take to bring an end to this path, to that cave, because they wanted to get out of that cave now. अब वो उस cave से बाहर निकलना चाहते थे, क्योंकि वहाँ पर तो वो सिर्फ shelter के लिए enter हुए थे. वहाँ पर उन्होंने दरख्तों को देखना शुरू कर दिया. उसके बाद we had a long description of the trees, के वो उसी की जो thickness है, उन्हीं दरख्तों की जो types हैं, वो किस काम के लिए use होते हैं, वो उसी में involve होकर रह गए, और वो उनको अपना असल रास्ता जो है वो भूल चुके थे, वो उसको खो चुके थे. So they were continuously thinking, they were wondering which path. They took some of the paths that were most beaten, but every path in the end seemed to be the same. Which when by tract they hunted had throughout, at length it brought them to a hollow cave. Amid the thickest woods, the champion stout, eftsoons dismounted from his cursor brave, and to the dwarf a while his needless spear he gave. Now what happened? They reached meanwhile, when they were looking for some way to get out of that place, to get out of that cave that they had entered for taking shelter, they found the most beaten path that they had taken that led them to a hollow cave. वो एक cave तक पहुंच गए amid the thickest woods, जो कि बहुत घने जंगल के दरमियान में था. The champion stout of eftsoons at once dismounted from his cursor brave. The champion here refers to the knight. Stout is brave, so the brave knight, he got off his horse, and he gave that spear that he did not need to the dwarf. He gave that spear, he did not need, he gave it to the dwarf. Be well aware, quoth then that lady mild. Mild is M-I-L-D, mild, the modern English equivalent. Be well aware. Now this is a kind of warning coming from the lady. So Lady Una warns the knight. She quoth is says. So Lady Una, the kind lady, the soft, gentle lady, she says that be well aware, least sudden mischief ye to rash provoke, that your sudden action might provoke some kind of rashness. The danger hid, there is a danger, the danger is hidden, the place unknown and wild. Since the place is unknown and wild, there may be a hidden danger. Breeds dreadful doubts. So she says that the dreadful doubts, the fears that I have, they ask me to be careful at this place, since this is an unknown and wild place. This is a wild in the sense that it is not known. Oft fire is without smoke, and she gives the example here that my fears, they are telling me that often the fire is without the smoke. There is no sign of the smoke, still there is a fire. So similar might be the case of this situation. We cannot see any danger, but we should be, she warns the knight that you should be careful from this situation. हो सकता है यहाँ पर कोई खतरा छुपा हो, कोई खतरनाक चीज यहाँ पर मौजूद हो जो कि हमें नुकसान पहुंचा सकती हो. A peril without show. Peril is a danger. Without show, without any signs, without any marks. Therefore you stroke, Sir Knight, withhold. So before you start, before you take any action, withhold, you better be relaxed, and you should slow down the process. till further trail made. Till the time we have some indication, till the time we have some sign. A lady, said he, shame were to revoke the forward footing for an hidden shade. Virtue gives herself light through darkness for to wade. Wade is to pass. So here the knight replies the lady. He says that he talks to Lady Una. He says that it is a shame now to get back. If I step back because of some hidden danger, the danger is not there. I cannot see it. And even for a hidden danger, if I step back, it is a shame. मेरे लिए the knight says that मेरे लिए ये एक बहुत ही शर्मनाक बात है कि जो खतरा मुझे नजर भी नहीं आ रहा, कि किसी पोशीदा खतरे की बुनियाद पर अगर मैं पीछे हट जाऊं, तो दिस इज अ शेम फॉर मी कि एम आई अ ब्रेव पर्सन, क्या मैं एक बहादुर इंसान कहलाने के लायक हूं? फिर अगर मैं इस सिचुएशन में अगर मैं पीछे हट जाता हूं, क्या मैं एक बहादुर इंसान कहलाऊंगा? Virtue gives herself light. That virtue gives light through darkness for to wade. That it is through darkness that virtue gains light or virtue receives light. So at every step, हर पॉइंट पर जिंदगी में अगर कोई अच्छाई है तो उसके साथ बुराई है. रोशनी का तो हमें तभी पता चलता है ना जब वहां पर डार्कनेस भी हो. अगर डार्कनेस का कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं हो वो है तो रोशनी का कैसे पता चलेगा? इसी तरह से अगर सफेद है तो स्याह का कैसे पता चलेगा? तो सफेद और स्याह एक देयर इज अ combination in this world. So that is the reason he says that virtue gives herself light through darkness for to wade. It is through darkness that we come to know about the virtues. हमें अच्छाई का बुराई की वजह से ही पता चलता है, हमें अंधेरे की वजह से ही लाइट का पता चलता है. Yeah, but she said yes. But quoth she, what she said, the peril of this place, the danger at this place, I better want than you. I know better. She said that, okay, you are right. Whatever you are saying, this is also fine that you have got your own philosophy of life. But she says that मैं क्योंकि इस जगह पर रही हुई हूँ, मैं बेहतर यहाँ के खतरात को जानती हूँ. Though now too late. हालांकि अब बहुत, she says that बहुत देर हो चुकी है. It's too late to warn you, to tell you of the danger. I to wish you back return with foul disgrace. That अब इस मौके पर अगर तुम्हें वापस जाने का कहा जाए, it is a disgrace, it is a bad disgrace, and to return back since there is a danger, since there is a coming danger, so at this time if I ask you to go back with this disgrace because of the coming danger, it will be a disgrace, it will be a shame for you. Yet wisdom warns, still wit, the wisdom, it warns that whilst foot is in the gate, कि जबकि to stay the step are forced to retreat, कि जब स्टेप कर चुके हो, जब वहां पर उसके दरवाजे तक आ चुके हो, तो it's better if you have both the options to stay step to. When you are putting in the step in, you should be able to draw back. अब वापस आने का रास्ता भी मौजूद होना चाहिए. This is the wandering word. This errors den. What she said? This is wandering word. Wandering, it is lonely, desolate. This errors den. Error symbolizes. Error is the there is a dragon. Den is the cave. So the dragon symbolizes error. A monster vile, whom God and men does hate. Therefore I read, beware. Fly, fly, quoth then the fearful dwarf. This is no place for living men. Now she is warning the knight. She tells him that this is the error's cave. He lives there. it is a monster. It is a very ugly, deadly monster whom God and men equally hate. Everybody loathes him. Everybody hates the monster. हर कोई इससे नफरत करता है. Therefore, I read is beware. I warn you to be aware of this monster. He is very deadly. He is very dangerous. Fly. Now the dwarf, since the dwarf was afraid of such situations, so what he said, Koth is said, fly. He said that run from this place, since he was afraid, क्योंकि वो बहुत ज़्यादा उस जगह से ये बातें सुनकर वो बहुत ज़्यादा खौफज़दा हो चुका था. तो ड्वार्फ ने कहा कि ये कोई लोगों के रहने की जगह नहीं है. अगर ये इस तरह की जगह है जहाँ पे कि एक ऐसा मॉन्स्टर रह रहा है जो कि बहुत डेंजरस है, जिससे खुदा और तमाम इंसान नफरत करते हैं, देन इट इज़ नॉट अ प्लेस फॉर लिविंग बीइंग्स, कि ये इंसानों के रहने की जगह नहीं है फिर. सो ही इज shouting that they should leave the place, that it is a dangerous place. He was fearful of the situation after listening to the conversation between Lady Una and the knight. उसने जब उन दोनों के दरमियान वो जो conversation थी, वो जो चीज़ थी, जब उसने वो सुनी तो वो वहाँ से जाने के लिए तैयार था कि बस हमें यहाँ पर नहीं रुकना चाहिए, ये कोई इंसानों के रहने की जगह नहीं है. But full of fire and greedy hardiment. Hardiment is the eager boldness. The knight was very eager. He was very bold and eager to do something. But full of fire, he had that internal desire. उसके अंदर एक full of fire, उसके अंदर एक आग लगी हुई थी कि वो कोई काम ऐसा करे, कोई ब्रेवरी का, कोई वैलर का, वो अपनी स्ट्रेंथ दिखाए है जिसमें कोई ऐसे वो हेरोइक डीड कोई ऐसा करे, तो वो उस चीज के लिए ग्रीडी था. उस पर ये सारी वार्निंग, उस पर ये सारे खतरात वो कोई असर नहीं कर रहे थे. वो किस चीज का उसको शौक था, उसको किस चीज की तपिश थी कि वो कुछ ऐसा काम करे कि जिसमें उसकी पावर, उसकी ब्रेवरी, उसकी वैलर को चैलेंज हो और वो उसका इस्तेमाल कर सके, वो अपनी जो हेरोइक क्वालिटीज हैं उनको यूटिलाइज कर सके. बिकॉज सो फार दे हैड स्टार्टेड देयर जर्नी. जब से उन्होंने ये जर्नी स्टार्ट की है, नाइट ने ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया, कोई ऐसा इंसिडेंट ही नहीं आया है कि जिसमें उसकी ब्रेवरी, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ, उसकी पावर, विगर को चैलेंज किया गया हो, या जहां पर उसको अपनी नाइटली क्वालिटीज को एग्जिबिट करने का मौका मिला हो. So he was burning with that fire that he really wanted to do something. वो कुछ करना चाहता था, कोई bravery का act करना चाहता था. And greedy hardiment is eager boldness. Now greedy, why greedy? He was greedy for it. उसके पास वो इतना उसमें urge थी, इस कदर उसकी internal desire इस कदर strong थी कि उसको लालच था कि बस अब ये मौका मिला है, उसने जरूर ये काम करना है, उसने किसी कीमत पर इसको नहीं छोड़ना. So this first line is very meaningful, representing the inner feelings of the knight towards that dangerous situation. Now look at it. Three of the characters present there, they have got different feelings. The dwarf and Lady Una. Lady Una warns him and she says that it's too late for me to ask you to withdraw or to go back from the situation, because it will be a kind of understating your bravery and your power, your strength. On the other hand, we had the dwarf who was fearful, who was afraid of the situation after listening to the conversation between Lady Una and the knight, when he comes to know that this is the cave of error where the monster lives, who is hated by God and by men also. He is ready to leave from that place, and not only leave by walking or by running. He says fly. We should run like anything, कि उनको वहां से बस उड़कर गायब हो जाना चाहिए और किसी भी चीज का सामना नहीं करना चाहिए, since it is a dangerous place, क्योंकि वहां पर खतरा है वहां पर रहने की. तो उसने and what he said, his line was, it is not a place fit for men, कि ये for living men, कि ये कोई जिंदा लोगों के रहने की जगह नहीं है. The youthful knight could not for aught be stayed. ought is for anything by any means, stayed is restrained, that the night could not be restrained, उसको किसी कीमत पर भी रोका नहीं जा सकता था. As I just discussed कि उसके अंदर वो एक इंटरनल अर्ज थी, एक डिजायर थी कि उसने हर हाल में ये अब एक एनकाउंटर ऐसा होगा कि अगर यहाँ पर खतरा है तो उसको उसकी ब्रेवरी के लिए ये एक चैलेंज था कि अब उसको मौका मिलेगा कि वो अपनी ब्रेवरी, अपनी वैलर को एग्जिबिट कर सके. बट फोर्थ अनटू द डार्कसम होल ही वेंट. सो व्हाट ही डिड, ही वेंट फोर्थ, वो आगे गया, एक डार्क होल था उसने, एंड लुक्ड इन, वो अंदर गया, अंदर जाके उसने एक डार्क होल के अंदर देखा. हिज ग्लिस्टरिंग armor made, glistering is glittering, bright, shining, his bright shining armor is the weapon, his sword basically his blistering armor refers to his sword कि उसके पास जो तलवार थी, made a little glooming light much like a shade. So his sword made a little light like a shade. तो वो उन सारे थ्रेट से, उन सारी वार्निंग से, ड्वार्फ के कावर्ड एटीट्यूड से का नाइट के ऊपर कोई असर नहीं हुआ था. ही वाज स्टिल रेडी टू गो इन एंड टू हैव द चैलेंज एंड टू फाइट अगेंस्ट द इविल. उसने क्या किया, वो आगे गया. ही लुक्ड इनटू दैट केव एंड since he was carrying that sword in his hand, तो वो जो sword उसने अपने हाथ में पकड़ी हुई थी, वो किस तरह से वहाँ उसके अंदर उसकी रोशनी गई, क्योंकि वो बहुत तेज धार आला था, चमक रही थी बहुत ज्यादा. तो उसकी लाइट, उसके जो तलवार है, जो स्वॉर्ड है, उसकी लाइट केव के अंदर इसी तरह से पड़ी जैसे कि कोई शेड हो, किसी चीज का साया गुजरा हो. By which he saw the ugly monster plain. Now the sword worked for him in two ways. First, it worked for him as a light. उसको उसकी लाइट की वजह से, वो जो शेड उसके से, उस तलवार से उस केव में पड़ा, he was able to see the monster. Secondly, it served for him as a weapon. Thirdly, for it was good for him when that the monster saw the knight with that weapon, ताकि वो उस पर उसी तरीके से furiously attack नहीं किया उसने. So it had a number of purposes. So he saw that ugly monster there. So the monster was very ugly, half like a serpent. Serpent is a snake, a large snake, horribly displayed. Displayed is spread out. So the monster looked like, half of its body was like a serpent, it was like a large snake, it was spread all around, but the other half did woman's shape retain. Half of its body was like that of a serpent and the other half of its body was like a woman. Most loathsome, filthy, foul, and full of vile disdain. Now, these words, these reflect his feelings towards the that how he felt by looking at that monster. Loathsome, it was hateful, काबिले नफरत था. Filthy is dirty, extremely dirty. Foul is bad, very bad, and full of vile disdain. And it was bad in all respects. Now, this is the description of the monster, that when the knight looked into the cave, the monster was, he looked he had a look at the monster. It was very ugly. It was in form, in the figure, it appeared, half of it appeared like a woman and the other half of it appeared like a serpent, a large snake. And as she lay upon the dirty ground, and she was lying upon the dirty ground, upon the foul ground which was all dirty everywhere, her huge long tail, her den all overspread. So all her cave, den is the cave, and her long tail, she had a very long tail, and that long tail, it was spread all over the cave. Yet one was in knots and many spots upwound. Bots is the folds. So the tail was lying, it was overspread all over the cave, or the cave was full with the knots and folds of her tail. Up wounds is the encircled. The tail was encircled. There were number of circles that were made. So it was very huge, very, very long tail. Pointed with mortal sting. So at the other end, there was a very poisonous sting on the other hand. Of her there bred 1,000 young ones, which she daily fed. Of her there she bore 1,000 young ones. There are a number of her offsprings who were lying all over that place, which she daily fed. She used to feed them daily. So she had a number of offsprings there. She had thousands of offsprings whom she bred every day. So if we look at these lines, Spencer gave a vivid description of the ground, not only of the jungle and later on of the cave also, that when the knight looked into it, we have the vivid description of the monster also, that it was a very ugly monster, it was huge, it was filthy, it was loathsome, it was dirty. हमें हर तरह की उसके बारे में description पता चलती है. So Spencer has added the pictorial quality also to his poetry. हमें words के through we can visualize the things कि वो cave किस तरह का होगा, या जो monster है उसको इतने इस कदर folds हैं कि पूरा cave उसकी जो tail है उसके folds और उसके जो knots हैं उसके encircling से जो है वो fill हुआ है. And there were thousands of her offsprings whom she every day fed. So every day she used to feed them. So the monster had the offsprings also. And on the other end of her, something very important, that on the other end of her tail she had the sting also. That was mortal. Mortal sting. Why mortal sting? Because it was deadly. It was very dangerous for human beings. Definitely whosoever she would sting, the person would die. Sucking upon her poisonous dugs, each one of sundry shapes, yet all ill-favored, soon as that uncouth light upon them shone, into her mouth they crept, and sudden all were gone. So this is the description, that sucking upon her poisonous dugs. They were sucking from her poisonous udders, and each one of sundry refers to different types, various. Sundry refers to different shapes. So they were all of different shapes. There were thousands of them in the cave. वहाँ पर हजारों की तादाद में उसके offsprings मौजूद थे, लेकिन उन सब की मुख्तलिफ शेप थी, सब मुख्तलिफ shapes में थे. Yet all ill-favored. Ill-favored, हर किसी की मुख्तलिफ शेप थी, लेकिन सारे ही अगली थे, सारे ही बदसूरत बदनुमा थे. Soon as that uncouth light upon them shone, जैसे ही उन पर लाइट पड़ी और उनके ऊपर रोशनी पड़ी, into her mouth they crept, उन सब ने उसके मुंह में जाना शुरू कर दिया. And sudden all were gone, और एकदम से सब के सब उसके मुंह में चले गए. So as soon as there was light upon them, the light of that sword, through which the knight could see the dragon, could see the monster. जिस लाइट की मदद से नाइट ने मॉन्स्टर को देखा था, और जो केव की सिचुएशन थी और जो हालत थी, जो मॉन्स्टर का साइज और उसके जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स थे उनको देखा था, उसी रोशनी की मदद से जब उन ऑफस्प्रिंग्स ने लाइट देखी उस केव में, दे ऑल क्रेप्ट इनटू द मॉन्स्टर्स माउथ. Their damn upstart, out of her den afraid. Afraid is afraid. A should be replaced AFFRAID. This is afraid, the modern English equivalent, afraid. And rushed forth, hurling her hideous tail. Hideous is loathsome, hated, kabile nafrat. So what that dam is the mother. She started. she started up, the monster started up out of her den afraid. She was so afraid of because of this light that she started and rushed forth. और उसने started running, hurling her hideous tail. She started whirling her loathsome, her hateful tail about her cursed head, whose folds displayed were stretched now forth at length without any trail. Now what happened when she started running? All the folds of her tail, they were unfolded. वो सारे खुल चुके थे, and the tail was all in stretched position. She looked about and seeing one in mile is the armor. When she looked around and when she looked at the knight, that he has got the weapon, he has got the armor in his hand, armed to point, sought back to turn again. So she returned back to turn again, for light she hated as the deadly bale. Bale is the evil. She hated light as if it is something the most evil of every bad thing. तो उसको लाइट से इसी कदर नफरत थी जिस तरह के हम किसी बुराई से नफरत करते हैं. So it for the monster it was the evilest of all. For the monster, the light was evil. It was the most deadly evil. A want in desert darkness to remain, where plain none might her see, nor she see any plain. So she loved to remain in the darkness, and where nobody could see her and she should not see anybody, she loved to remain in darkness. Which when the valiant elf perceived, he leapt, as lion fears upon the flying prey, and with his strengthened blade her boldly kept from turning back and forced her to stay. So what happened? The situation is very grave here, very serious. The knight who had come to fight against the dragon, against the monster, first he looked at the condition that there was a huge monster inside, having a long tail, and on the other end of the tail there was a poisonous sting also, and which when the valiant as elf refers to the knight, that the knight who was the elfin's son, he leapt on that monster as lion fears upon the flying prey. वो मॉन्स्टर की तरफ उसी तरीके से भागा जैसा कि शेर अपने एक भागते हुए या उड़ते हुए शिकार की तरफ भागता है. सो यू कैन वेल इमेजिन द सिचुएशन कि किस तरीके से जो है वो किस फुर्ती के साथ जो है वो नाइट ने मॉन्स्टर की तरफ बढ़ा है या उसकी तरफ वो लपका है उसकी तरफ हमला करने के लिए. एंड विद हिज ट्रेंचेंट ब्लेड, और अपनी स्वॉर्ड की वजह से, अपने उसे तेज शार्प ब्लेड की वजह से हर बोल्डली केप्ट, उसने बहुत बहादुरी से उसे वापस मुड़ने से रोका है. एंड फोर्स्ड हर टू स्टे, उसको वहां पर रहने पर उसी पोजीशन में जैसे कि उसने उसे पकड़ा है उसे रहने पर मजबूर किया है. सो ही फोर्स्ड हर टू स्टे इन दैट पोजीशन. Therewith enraged, she loudly began to bray. Bray is roar. She started producing some sounds from her mouth. उसने, क्योंकि अब उसको शदीद गुस्सा आ चुका था क्योंकि she was entrapped by the knight. He had made her stay in the position where he could. She started braying, she started roaring and turning fierce. She became wild. इस कदर डेंजरस हो चुकी थी. Her speckled tail advanced. So what happened? She raised her tail, threatening her angry sting. So what happened? She was trying him to dismay. So in order to make the knight not to harm her, she what she did, who not aghast his mighty hand enhanced, the stroke down from her head unto her shoulder glanced. He gathered all his courage, and with his very powerful hand, he tried to strike from her head onto her shoulders. Much daunted with that dint. Dint is the stroke. Now the monster became afraid because of that stroke of the sword. Her sense was dazed. She was puzzled. The monster was puzzled, confused, confounded with that stroke. Yet kindling rage, kindling means gathering. She gathered her strength. Herself she gathered round, and all at once her beastly body raised with doubled forces high above the ground. So what happened? The knight and the monster both were in a very critical position, because both were in that cave and they were having a fierce fight. Now since the knight had a hold of her tail and did not let her move, the monster tried to gather all her anger, all her strength and courage, and at once what she did, she suddenly raised her body on the with doubled force, with double strength above the ground. What she did, though wrapping up her rest stern around, leapt fierce upon his shield, and her huge train all suddenly about his body wound that hand or foot to stir. He strove in vain. God help the man, so wrapped in error's endless train. Now this moment was very critical for the knight. The monster had wrapped him up under the circles of his tail, and it was useless for him to and he was all covered by the circles of the monster's tail, so he was uselessly trying to get his hand or foot free. God help the man, so wrapped in error's endless train, errors endless. So the monster, so the knight was encircled in the snare, in the shackles of the tail of the monster. So God help this man, since he has got good intentions. His lady sad to see his sore constraint. Now Lady Una, his lady here refers to Lady Una, sad to see his sore constraint. Sore constraint is the trouble, the suffering. The lady was also sad. She also, when she looked at this condition in which the knight was caught by the monster through his tail, he was all encircled by the by the knots of the tail, cried out, now Sir Knight, shew what ye be, and faith unto your force, and be not faint. Strangle her, else she sure will strangle thee. Now what she said, she cried out, and basically she was trying to remind him that what he was not something to very dumb and dull who could be very easily conquered. So she tried to gather up his courage once again, and he asked him to realize that who he is, and faith unto. So लेडी उना ने नाइट को अपनी असल याद करने को कहा, कि सोचे कि वो क्या है, उस पर गौर करे और अपनी ताकत पर इन्हिसार करे, एंड उसको परेशान नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर वो परेशान हो गया और अगर उसको मार ना सका तो ये मॉन्स्टर जो है वो यकीनन उसे मार देगी. So she asked him to have faith on his force, on his strength, since he was a very brave and strong man, and be not faint, and you should not be weak. You are not weak. Be not faint. Strangle her, kill her, else she sure will strangle thee. Thee here is you. That if you don't kill her, you should have faith in your power, in your valor, in your strength, and you should not be weak at this moment. Kill her. If you do not kill her, she will kill you. The monster will kill you. That when he heard, When he heard all this, whatever Lady Una had said, so all these words, they had a very good impression on the knight's mind. It gathered his courage. It gathered his all scattered courage. In great perplexity, he was in the entangled mind. His gall did great for grief and high disdain. So his anger was, it was greatly stirred, and knitting all his force got one hand free. So when he tried to gather all his courage, when he thought about the things that Lady Una had just said, he was able to compose himself. He was able to recompose himself, his strength, his valor. So what he did, when he was able to do that, he could get his one hand free, wherewith he gripped her gorge. Gorge is stomach. With so great pain that soon to loose her wicked bands did her constrain. So what happened, when he got one of his hand free, he got hold of her stomach. He got hold of the monster's stomach so hard that soon all those circles, all those knots that the monster had around the knight, and the knight was free from them. Therewith she spewed out of her filthy maw. Maw is the stomach. Filthy is dirty, very bad. Spew out is to vomit out. So since the knight had got hold of the monster's stomach, so she vomited out from her dirty stomach a flood of poison, horrible and black. She vomited out, and the matter that she vomited out, it was a poison like a very horrible and black material, full of great lumps of flesh and gobbets raw. So it contained pieces of raw flesh which stunk so wildly that it forced him slack. Slack means to relax, to go on the side. The material that the monster vomited out, उसने जो भी vomit किया था, it was so filthy, it had such a foul smell कि knight को उस जगह से पीछे हटना पड़ा, उसको छोड़ देना पड़ी हर चीज़. उसके लिए वो smell जो थी वो नाकाबिले बर्दाश्त थी. His grasping hold and from her turn him back, कि वो वहाँ से उसने वो grasp छोड़ दी, उसके stomach को छोड़ दिया और वो वहाँ से पीछे हट गया. Her vomit. Now what did it contain? First we saw that it contained, it was all black. Now this is the contrast. At the beginning we discussed that the color of Lady Una, the lamb's color, it was all white. It was whiter than snow. It was whiter than milk. So this vomit, since this is monster's vomit, it is dark, it is very filthy, very it has got smell, foul smell, and it contains pieces of raw flesh. It contains, this is full of books and papers with loathly frogs and toads, which eyes did lack, and creeping sought way in the weedy grass. Her filthy parbreak all the place defiled has. Now the condition after her vomit is that whatever the material that was there, here it is the allegorical representation of the church. In this vomit, whatever the material has come out of her stomach, it represents full of books and papers. This represents the teachings of the Catholic Church. And loathly frogs and toads which eyes did lack. Now this represents the clergymen of the Catholic Church. And what did they do? Apparently it is a story. I mean it is a story of the monster and the knight, that when the monster vomited out, that vomit carried flesh of pieces of raw meat, and books and papers, and there were frogs and toads. All those things were there, and the frogs and toads, since they lacked eyes, they did not have any eyes, so they started creeping to the grass that was nearby. Her filthy pabrik is the vomit. It all the place defiled has. It had made all the place filthy, dirty, and it was all foul smell everywhere. As when old father Nilus begins to swell. So here this is extended simile. This is the use of extended simile, that it was in the same way. He has made a comparison of the vomit of the monster with the river Nile. That what happens when the old father river Nilus begins to swell when there is a flood in river Nile. With timely pride above the Egyptian whale, his fatty waves do fertile slime out well and overflow each plain and lowly dale. So what happens when there is a flood in the river Nile? When it is full, on the Egyptian valleys, there are waves of the water, and that water leaves the fertile soil on the ground, and everywhere on the plain ground and the valleys and the low valleys, everywhere it leaves a layer of the mud which is very fertile. But when his later spring begins to evolve, huge heaps of mud he leaves, wherein there breed 10,000 kinds of creatures, partly male and partly female, of his fruitful seed. Such ugly, monstrous shapes elsewhere may no man read. Read is to see. So what happened later on? This is full of mud. It leaves soil which is fertile. It is spread everywhere. Now back from this line onwards, from 10,000 kinds of creatures, partly male and partly female, of his fruitful seed. So from this line again we are talking about the monster, that its offsprings, half of them they are male and half of them are female, and they are of 10,000 different types of creatures. Such ugly, monstrous shapes elsewhere may no man read. That nobody would ever have seen such ugly, monstrous creatures as were present there as the offsprings of the monster. The same sore annoyed has the night. So this scene has annoyed the night greatly, that well nigh choked with the deadly stink, that the stink, the smell of that vomit was deadly. It was fainting. His forces fail. They can no longer fight, that he lost his all strength because of the stink of the filthy vomit, whose courage when the fiend perceived to shrink, and his courage when the monster saw that he had lost his courage, she poured forth out of her hellish sink. She poured forth out of her hellish sink her fruitful cursed spawn of serpents small, deformed monsters foul and black as ink, which swarming all about his legs did crawl, and him encumbered sore, but could not hurt at all. So when the monster observed that the knight was losing strength because of this stink of that foul smell, she poured forth. What she did? She poured forth out of her stomach. Sink is stomach. Out of her big, hellish sink. What is hellish sink? Her long, big stomach. Her fruitful cursed spawn. Her offsprings were there. She released her offsprings. These were small serpents, and they were deformed monsters, and they were all foul and black, and their color was as black as ink. So there is the use of simile also. Which swarming all about his legs did crawl. So they started crawling around the night, and they could not, these small serpents, they could not hurt the knight, but they troubled him. They were swarming with his legs, trying to climb him. As gentle shepherd in sweet eventide, when ruddy Phoebus begins to walk in west, high on an hill, his flock to wave and wide, marks which do bite their hasty supper best. So once again the use of the simile, these monsters, these small serpents, they were trying to climb up the night, as if a shepherd would go on the top of a hill in order to see his flock of sheep, that in order to see that which of his sheep they are coming back and which ones are trying to have their last supper, the last parts of their food. A cloud of cumbrous gates do him molest, all striving to infix their feeble stings, that from their annoyance he nowhere can rest, but with his clownish hands their tender wings he brusheth oft, and oft doth mar their murmurings. So what happened? There was a cloud of small flies with blood-sucking trunks, and it was such a dirty, hateful scene. What they were doing, they had very weak stings, and they were trying to inflict misery to the knight. वो उसको परेशान करने की, उसको miserable बनाने की कोशिश कर रही थी. That from their annoyance he nowhere can rest, that he was very restless because he was very annoyed because of their presence there. And with his hands, with his clownish hands, he was trying to get rid of them, and he brought an end to their murmurings by killing them all. Thus ill-bested and fearful more of shame than of the certain peril he stood in, half furious unto his foe he came, resolved in mind all suddenly to win, or soon to lose before he once would lend. So in such a sad condition, in such a sad plight, the knight was fearful. He was afraid of the shame. He was not afraid that he would be killed. उसको अपनी जान की कोई परवाह नहीं थी. वो उसको इस इज्जत का खतरा था कि जिसके वजह से वो जिस काम के लिए वहां पर आया था उसमें अगर उसको देन ऑफ द सर्टन पैरल ही स्टूड इन, कि जिस खतरे में वो खड़ा था उसके इसको परवाह नहीं थी, उसको परवाह थी इज्जत की. हाफ फ्यूरियस अनटू हिज फो ही केम, सो ही वाज वेरी फ्यूरियस व्हेन ही केम टू फाइट विद हिज फो, रिजॉल्व्ड इन माइंड ऑल सडनली टू विन. ही मेड अप हिज माइंड वंस अगेन दैट ही हैज कम देयर टू विन, टू गेट ओवर with that monster, and soon to lose before he once would lend, that before falling that he would once more give it a try before losing, and stroke at her with more than manly force. So he gathered all his courage, his manly power. Manly here is symbolic of every type of courage that a man could have, that from her body full of filthy sin. So he stroked her body. He reft her hateful hand without remorse. A stream of coal black blood forth gushed from her course. What happened? He made a stroke and he separated the monster's head from its body, and he could do that. He was able to do that with all his courage and with all his hate against her. And there was a stream of black blood from her that started running out of her body. और उसकी बॉडी से ब्लैक कलर का, जैसे ही उसका सर तन से जुदा हुआ मॉन्स्टर का, उसकी बॉडी से काले रंग का खून बहना शुरू हो गया. हर स्कैटर्ड ब्रूड, उसके जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स हैं जो इधर उधर बिखरे पड़े थे, जो इधर उधर घूम रहे थे, soon as their parent dear They saw so rudely falling to the ground, groaning full deadly, all with troublous fear, gathered themselves about her body round. So all those small serpents, all those offsprings of the monster, they started gathering round the serpent's body. When they saw their mother, their monster mother was dying, it was falling on the ground, they started gathering round her body, weening their wanted entrance to have found at her wide mouth, but being there withstood, they flocked all about her bleeding wound and sucked up their dying mother's blood, making her death their life and eke her hurt their good. So what they wanted to do, they wanted to enter the monster's mouth as they used to do before that, but they had to stand there because the wound was bleeding heavily and there was no way for them to get in or to enter the body. They stood there and started sucking up the blood that was coming out, that was flowing out of their mother's body. So what they did, by sucking their mother's blood, what they did, they made this blood that was coming out of her body, it was her death, and they made it there.